Hello. I will read one hand-picked comment and replies from an Extinction Rebellion video. There's a link to the video in the description. Joshua Farkam writes, I really don't understand why we don't start sterilizing people worldwide. If you are convicted of a felony, or have a congenital disease, sorry, you forfeit your right to reproduce. It's a simple procedure and can even be a simple injection. This would solve this problem within 30 years. Everyone is freaking out about this, but no one wants to practically solve it. It's stupid. Wookie replies, because population has already stopped growing due to babies. Check the stats. The number of babies per year hasn't gone up for 5 years now. Population dynamics is also too slow to have much effect on our issue. We have to reduce emissions from the people that are already here in a decade. Even sterilizing everyone, which isn't very clever, wouldn't change emissions much in that time. Joshua Farkam replies, at Wookie. You're right, I looked it up and it's a good thing. However, less people equates to less drain on the planetary resources. Less people means less carbon emissions. I don't buy into the idea that there won't be people on Earth in 30 years. The panic button time is not 2020. If we can manage our population, which we can, then why not? China did it, and if they hadn't the one or the newer two-child policy, the Earth would be far worse off than it is now. Sure, go vegan, sure, reuse clothing. I'm talking longer term. With less people, wages would rise, quality healthcare would be more available. We could rewild huge areas. I feel like everyone associated with Extinction Rebellion is by default a nihilist. You won't fix this by climbing on trains. It's like some weird double think they have going on. We want to be kind and we need less people. You will never force people to stop eating meat, or stop traveling, or heating their domiciles. Donald McCarthy replies, we need more fascist eugenicists. They did so well in the past, we really should be celebrating them. Joshua Farkam replies, at Donald McCarthy. You're crazy if you think I'm any sort of fascist. How? How was what I said fascist? Do you even know what that term means? Or are you having an emotional response to a solution you can't handle? Donald McCarthy replies, at Joshua Farkam. You talk of compulsory sterilization in Hitlerian ways. People convicted of felonies? Well, that would include a number of XR activists and eco-protesters generally. You do know that eugenicists were essentially fascists and that decent people all over the world rejected violently their ugly message of purification. So just fuck off with your ignorant shite and leave considered thinking to those who can manage it. Meanwhile, read some books and wise up. Joshua Farkam replies, at Donald McCarthy. Yeah, that's a solution. Thanks for making it more clear. I didn't understand that we could police human morals and life choices using laws. It works every time. So buy your cat a can of meat. Remember to only use public transportation. Donald McCarthy replies, at Joshua Farkam. Maybe recalibrate your moral compass. Moving effortlessly from compulsory sterilization of activists to concern over cat meat suggests you are quite lost. Joshua Farkam replies, at Donald McCarthy. I really couldn't care less about who is an activist. Good for them. I'm not sure why you are against sterilizing felonious criminals. In the US, if you're convicted of a felony, you forfeit your ability to vote or own any sort of firearm. It just proves the point I was making. You want to save the planet Earth, but how? How? Is not having children really a deal breaker for you? Should we force people into veganism? Should we outlaw commercial jet aircraft? Should we cut power to major cities for a few hours a day? Should we outlaw private vehicles? Should we outlaw pet ownership? Should we tell families to only have one child? Should we outlaw private ownership of land altogether? You call me a fascist. But you have no answer, just the typical emotional response. Donald McCarthy replies, at Joshua Farkam. Point out any post of mine where I claim to want to save the world. This world is fucked, and very soon. It's not difficult. There is nothing to be done to prevent this, but we could try to leave with a little class and some dignity and not rehashing old stupidities. But make no mistake, my friend, we are so completely fucked. 2026 is about when we check out. Joshua Farkam replies, at Donald McCarthy. Try again, nihilist. It must be exhausting. Donald McCarthy replies, at Joshua Farkam. Not at all. People die and so do planets. Get over it. Wookie replies, at Joshua Farkam. Yes, fewer people would be better, but this is a very slow process. However you do it, people last 70 years. The crux of the climate action problem is the next 2 decades. Yes, I'm not a nihilist either, there will be people around for a long time, but if we don't make a radical change in the emissions per person right now there is a strong chance of system collapse, at least in some places. Population will naturally peak around 2050 without changing anything. Hopefully it'll start to decline after that and we could get back to a more comfortable spot with more space for the rest of life. But we have to focus on the GHGs for the next few decades, because if we don't it's all going to go horribly wrong. However, the babies per woman numbers are trending currently down everywhere, and there is no reason to think that is going to reverse. Joshua Farkam replies, at Wookie. I thank you for reasoned argument. I understand that this is an emotional issue. I agree that current GHGs need to be addressed, things like single-use plastics, and heavy metals, farms getting into the water supply. I have great faith in humanity, I could cry about it. I do. The amount of beauty that a single human being can manifest is astounding. This galaxy would be nothing without us. We are made out of the earth, she deeply loves us. She's happy to have us. We are it. If we are destructive, which we can be, it's inherent. Left brain practicality can be a thing. I simply loathe this insanity where the sky is falling. Panic, panic, panic. This could be solved in a humane way. So sterilize some people. I'm not talking about the activists. I don't really know, but sterilization could be a solution. Replacement is close to 2.25 per couple. Some children die. We could get that number under 1.6 within 5 years easily. It would be easier than trying to force humans to make life changes. That would take some weird police 1984 Big Brother. We just are how we are. Naturally selfish and tribal. Wasn't trying to be weird, but trying to get people to stop eating cheese or meat, or never fly on an aircraft will never fly. End of reading. Goodbye.